We should open up some convenience stores. And our object tonight is to do some review of the recent event. And we're in December already, almost wrapping up the year, and so here we are still zooming and good stuff. So we'll have. Hopefully, we can end up the year. We'll have a little fun in a couple of weeks, and I thought it would be apropos tonight. Where we had some bad news as a club over the weekend that Charlie Burkett has left us a little earlier than we had thought. Because he seemed to be doing pretty well, and so I'm sure we all each have our individual stories and interactions and reflections on Charlie. He was a guy who kind of shunned the spotlight, so he, probably wouldn't certainly ask us to do anything like this. But I don't know that we'd be sitting here or be in the shape we are as a club without him. So, when volunteers are even thinner in the support group than they can be today, Charlie really kind of plowed on and kept things going and found venues and sent newsletters and stamped envelopes and did all kinds of stuff that went on behind the scenes that helped us keep NEVEE together. So I thought it would be appropriate if we just had a brief moment of silence for Charlie before we begin tonight, and then we'll take a look at some photos from our recent event. So thank you all, and thank you, Charlie, for helping keep the ship afloat when it needed some support. So,
Paul, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Paul, before you get started,
Yes.
could I do a commercial, please?
you can do a commercial. Do I have to call before midnight tonight?
No.
But wait, there's more.
We have,
Totally add some money back to my Social Security check.
definitely not get that.
You must be old and watching those terrible old people's
Yes,
channels.
I
to
watch
get all those.
Kojak. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract, Rich. Yes, you certainly.
Okay.
We
have,
gavel. The floor
The
is over to
NJRC,
Rich.
the NJARC has two younger members who have started a business, and they are J&D Auction Services. Okay. And I just wanted to get it out there that we are having, or they are having, an auction, inside auction, and that is January 8th. Now it's live auction. There is no Zoom. There is no online auctioning at all. I just want to get it out there that this will continue, and they are a service if anybody needs the service. And as you just said, things are changing and people are changing. Things are going south, and a lot of people are moving south and needing to clean out. So anyway, J&D can help you out. And here's a flyer. Paul, I have your email. I'd like to just send it to you.
Yes, sir.
Is that all right? And this way you
Perfect.
have it, and
Yep.
maybe you can post it somewhere.
Yeah, we're in our IO group, and we can post a service like that. Where would they travel? Do you know, Rich? As far as like if somebody had a big cache
Oh,
of
yes.
radios up in New England, they come up to Massachusetts or Connecticut or.
Absolutely. Yes,
good.
absolutely. This is their business now. They've actually left. One of them has left his company he was working for, and he said, "I'm going to make a go of it." That's
Interesting.
Darren Hoffman. And they're young 40s, and it's great. It's thank goodness we have them, because certainly New Jersey Antique Radio Club at InfoAge has literally tons and tons of stuff waiting to be auctioned off. We needed to get out of our storage units. Well, I know not the units themselves, but InfoAge, which happens to be becoming a big storage unit. So we can only wish them well, and that's why I want to push it out there.
Well, good
And
deal.
do they
No, I just-
specialize in antique radios, or do they do anything?
Antiques in general.
Well, antique electronics in general. I mean,
Okay.
they're not going to be auctioning off vases and plates. No.
Okay, good.
Is there a website that we could have?
Yeah, Tom. I tell you what, it's easier. Let me just send it to Paul, and then he can send it out to the group. Okay.
Okay, the website, if the website's simple, you could put it in the chat. and
Okay,
that
I'll
way
do that.
we'd all be able to get it.
Right.
Yeah, and then I can put it out in the group a little later, Rich. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm just reneging a little bit because I understand that the website's not much information on it right now.
Okay.
Well, if it has some contact info, that might suffice for now, and I'm sure they'll be working on
Good
Okay.
to know.
upgrading their web presence.
Many of us have wives and need to pass that info on to them, you know.
Oh, that's yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, Paul, can I have a list of all the wives in your club?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
let's cover everybody's
Their,
auction.
their business could spike beyond control. Let's.
That's right. It looks like your Magnavox issue will be resolved, Noah. Where is it?
These two guys show up and put it on a dolly, you're all set. You're done.
There you go.
All right. Well, John, so we have some photographs to review here from our
Absolutely. So I'll do
most
I will-
recent event up in Nashua.
Yes, I will. I'll share my screen. Just a quick welcome to everybody. Nice to see all the familiar faces and a few faces you see only here and there. Glad everyone's here. Let me go and share. Let me know if everyone can see this. You can see the first photo. This should be Tom Scarpelli's table.
Mhm.
I'll take the whole thing.
All right. Well, I
Julie.
have lots of photos here. So, you know, you can play Name That Radio and, you know, whatever, but there's lots of close-ups on a number of these. So this is the first, this is early before the show, before they open up the gates for all the herd to come roaming in.
And it was pretty well attended, you know, despite some of the, you know, recent concerns. And from what I understood, people were respectful of each other. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I would say that's a good summary.
Cute
Oh,
little
that's-
Emerson. That's
Yeah.
an ever popular design. Doesn't look like a repaint either. So pretty
No,
good
it's
shape.
nice little radio. And Tom's radio is always fair and nice, fairly priced and nice.
Little
The-
AA5. I had one of those in a brown Bakelite. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. It's funny. It looks the dial belongs about 20 years behind the radio. You know, it's kind of has the deco-looking numbers, but it's sort of a 50s design.
Yeah, it seems to span both generations, if you will.
Lucky for Tom, years ago, he got rid of a number of the way too many consoles that he had. So now
Yes,
he's
yes, I
got a
remember
lot
when
of
he
the
was on
smaller
that
radios
Quest.
here to move on down.
I think his wife could use that website address for the. If you've ever been down his basement, it's pretty neat though. Actually, he's
It's
very organized.
oh, but much nicer than my basement.
Cute little Arvin.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the one that Jim Ligori restored from actually Charlie's auction.
Yes, and with that little dial light when it's on too, those are kind of sharp looking. The
Yeah,
dial is in pretty good shape. The numerals are all clear and
yeah.
not a bad little set.
No,
Not
with
bad
a
little set.
no, a little bit of elbow grease, you could get a little more pop out of it, and
Couple of flea bites, but that's okay.
yeah, right. But yeah, neat little radio. So, get a little closer here. Nice little. Yeah. I don't think I may have a better picture of this. But
You know,
again,
from the design, I might take a shot and say an Emerson, but I am not sure.
yeah, maybe you're right. Actually, I don't think that is. You know, if I misspoke. I think you're probably more right than I am there. I might have a better photo. I forget now. I took so many. This
There you
is
go.
nice little Zenith. That's one of the Charles Ames design ones. And I know who bought that. He's not on, but Bob Harris bought this. And I stopped and looked at it a number of times. Like the first one I've ever seen with such a light blonde finish. I guess this light is lit red.
Yes,
It's
and the metal piece is in very good shape too, and the case doesn't look to be too dinged up. I mean, a couple of things on top, but I mean that might be another one of those where you clean it up, and it's very presentable. Maybe
Yeah.
he can do a zoom on his restoration of the rest of the set for us.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, because I looked at more than once. I was very tempted. And, and I said, wow, what a neat, you don't see those too often, but especially in this finish, like, oh, what a neat radio. Here's Philco.
That's a cool dial. Those are always very sharp looking in a dark room.
Oh, right, because I just imagined that it's lit behind the metal flap or something.
Yeah, so it kind of the numerals have sort of a dimensionality to them, I guess. is the phrase.
Ah, that's neat. That's
Speedometer goes to 160.
Now, it's funny. I was thinking about it. It reminds me, this is your classic. This is, I would assume this is from your early mid 50s. It looks like the dashboards, that were pretty much all American cars had the semicircle speedometer.
Kind of
Those
like
are
a
six
hippo, but
Chevy.
it goes in a different direction,
Yeah, exactly. All those 50, 5, 6 Fords. My brother had a 54 Ford and it had the semicircle, but it had the Astrodomes, had that nice, you get the sun would come through the clear plastic and give it a three-dimensional look. It was cool. Yeah, neat. I'd love to see, some of these, I think as you talked before, I'd love to have just plug them in just to see the dial
I
light.
don't know what it is about those. Those are kind of awkward looking, but yet interesting at the same time. There's a lot going on there. Why that
Yeah.
plastic piece with the dial, and then, the little red GE, trademark up in the corner, and then it says General Electric on the Bakelite.
Yeah,
There's just what were they thinking about? Who designed that thing?
yeah. This one I would say is the more pleasing of the variants, because I think this works, but some of them are a little bit odd looking.
Cloth is kind of good though. I mean, the cloth looks. I mean, that's
that's a nice little radio.
That's original. You can't find that in reproduction.
No,
This has an interesting circuit too. It's the first FMIF is reflexed through the FMRF tube.
Interesting.
It's
there's a lot
weird.
of
It's
colors
odd
there
that-
too. You got the knobs that kind of are different than the cabinet, and then you get the little red logo up in the corner there, and red
looks like-
tuning indicator. It's just it's an interesting combination.
sound like your parts bin GE.
What do you make out of all this stuff?
Behind all of that though is a little 56X5 RCA, and I wonder if he sold that, because I would take that from him.
Well, let's see if I have a better
Heartbeat.
photo.
Um,
That guy here. There's a Bendix.
little toaster.
Yeah, exactly. Nice shape, a little more polishing. You could really make it pop.
Yeah, I mean, you can usually work pretty well on the case on those, but the big thing on that is that the plastic with the printing on it is not flaking or worn off, and that's usually the killer on those.
Looks to be in pretty good shape as I close up, zoom in on it.
They have a
Police.
wooden version of that too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Do they still make brakes? Didn't Bendix get into the?
Oh, sure. Well, this is kind of the interesting thing is that you have all these manufacturers doing other things, but decide to jump into the radio business. Yeah, I mean, think like Stuart Warner.
I mean, Bendix was aviation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Controls.
Yep. Well, actually, that radio said aviation on it. Aviation Corporation, if you backed up a
Hey,
slide to it.
let me do that. Take a look.
Could probably take that up in your
Oh,
plane.
you're
if you had a
right.
long enough
Good
cord.
catch.
Aviation Corporation.
Corporation, yes.
Very good catch. There's a Spartan. Again, another rather seems like in pretty reasonable shape. Could do a little, maybe a sympathetic restoration on the cosmetics, and you'd be hopefully good to go.
There's a trivia question for those more intelligent than I am. When did they stop? Or was there a transition when they stopped calling it the broadcast band and actually labeled it AM as opposed to broadcast?
It's an interesting question. In a lot of multi-band sets, especially from the 30s and 40s, you always see that standard broadcast band.
Right. I'm
moniker.
thinking, part of my thinking
I'm
is they
thinking
didn't
late
start
50s
calling
to
it AM
60s.
until they came out with FM. Because there was no need to call it AM when there was no
Yeah.
FM.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because what else would be your standard broadcast band? You had standard and shortwave, you know?
Yep.
yeah, probably that paced with whenever the company adopted FM into their product set. So,
Of course, now if you told somebody who was 30 years old it's available on the standard broadcast band, then say,
They
what's
would-
that?
they would blue screen.
Yeah.
Is that a Roku channel?
Yeah, exactly. But
Podcast.
Podcast.
Facebook.
right. But yeah, moving right along. Oh,
Nice
here's
looking set. You know, the big thing on some of those too is, you know, whenever you're looking at sets now, and especially with, you know, radio days being, if you look in some of the forums, you know, either excellent to almost non-existent in service as far as their custom replacement radio dial glass. You know, if it's not
Yeah.
flaked, if it's still legible, I mean, the woodwork becomes sort of a minor project, you know, as long as you can read the dial. And
yeah,
that's the big
and
thing.
and this one that Spartan meets all that criteria. I mean, that's one that with not a ton of work can be made to be more than presentable in a room.
Twin speakers.
Boy, it's a good thing I didn't see this one. What's that weird that just kind of like pops up out of the left-hand corner where the dial is? Or no, what, or is that something different radio?
the radio
behind
That's a
it?
behind
different
it.
radio. Yeah,
It's another
That's-
set.
Okay.
I might have that later, but yeah, this one
It's
says
a
some-
mutant.
Yeah, yes, it's from the atomic age, so you know.
That's right.
Yes, it's sort of a neat little Sylvania. I haven't seen
Actually, it would have been really cool if that gold part in the upper left was actually part of that same radio. That would have been ultra interesting if the FM band was up there and the AM band was in the center.
Be no cookier than that GE we saw just a few months ago.
Well, if they ever dropped the bomb, you know, when you were listening on one of those Conelrad stations there, it probably would have melted altogether anyway. So
There you-
after you ducked and covered, you would have had a neat set, you know.
What's kind of interesting about this Sylvania is that the knobs, they're
Yeah.
quite visual in design.
Yeah, I mean, how would you even, you know, that almost, I'm not going to say anything.
No, you don't.
I'm just not.
I know what you
Next
get.
picture, please, John.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm
We'll
just
keep it-
done.
It's
How
the
would you-
Madonna version.
Yeah,
Well,
very diplomatic, Noah. Very diplomatic. Well said.
there we go. In fact, if you see the design, there's a signature somewhere, right?
Next slide.
There. Oh, here we go. It's a Crosley.
That's a Crossley.
Yeah, that makes
Trying
sense.
to look like an Emerson.
There we go.
Missing something there in the middle. I'm not quite sure. what.
Yeah, I was wondering about
Yeah,
that
it could have
too.
just been something you could stick a little brass dot or something.
Looks like a Zenith logo would have fit there nicely, but
Well, it's funny. That's why I called it a Zenith initially, thinking because from the downward I couldn't see Crosley. I thought, was that a
Yep.
Zenith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of that Emerson funky plastic look,
Yeah.
but it's a Crossley, and
Indeed.
you're there. You're there with the Crossley.
There we go. Here's a.
Mm,
It's nice.
That's a nice set, and it's got that
Yeah.
little, you know, hyper wheelie tuning device.
I know. I
Oh,
think I
thought
could.
about that, John?
Oh, it's nice. I did look at that more than once. I mean, what a nice look. I
Oh,
even
and it's stationized too. Oh, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Look at that. You see this?
needs a motor connected to it or something.
I
And
know.
it's,
I've-
very New England too, because you've got PRO, MEX,
Yeah, yeah, EEI,
oh, BW,
I know.
which is still there,
MEX.
TIC.
I was looking at it. I
Oh,
was
yes.
admiring it. You know, now what kind of
It's
radio
even
is
WOR there for this AM skip at nighttime.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but-
would say that's that's a Philco, isn't it? But I mean, I didn't know Philco made stationized. I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Love
It
the
does say
design.
Philco down in the lower corner. Yeah, so I guess I was.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Good eyes. I was looking for that.
yeah, good
very nice.
eyes. If I
yeah,
have
but-
good eyes,
Tune in
we're
the
all in
police.
trouble. It
Sorry.
is the police.
You can tune in the police.
Yeah,
Can. Oh, what a beautiful little radio. I forget what this
both
is.
of them.
I forget whether this is Bruce's radio.
Stuart Copeland is waiting to play his drums for you. Ooh,
Yeah, look-
that's
This is, I'm pretty sure this is Bruce's. Nice, Emerson. Beautiful. I'm pretty sure this is Bruce's radio. In fact, he was telling me, is this, they made a reproduction, those 80s, 90s repro radios. And this one's grill was in pretty rough shape. Well, it turns out the reproduction is a pretty faithful equivalent. And I'm told this is actually taken from one as a donor set.
They
but the
swapped it out?
reproduction- Swapped it out and got
Interesting.
Well, those late model reproductions are now 30 years old, which is
I
kind of
know.
scary.
And some of them are actually getting some pretty surprisingly significant money on. I know it's eBay, so you're in for the Wild West, but it is remarkable.
Is there a slot cut into the side for the cassette on this one?
Yeah, right. Oh,
Oh, yes, yes.
but it's a beautiful radio.
Nice.
Otherwise, I mean, if you told me, I would never believe it. If Bruce told me about the story, and wow, how interesting. Oh yeah, the French,
Ooh,
the sweet French radios that light up on the side.
Yep.
Oh, pretty cool stuff. In fact, too bad George isn't here. I guess he would appreciate these. I think he has one or two.
that is a pretty gorgeous looking thing.
It is cool. It's all like I'm told it's a pretty, fairly pedestrian, electrics, but the visual is why you buy it.
Yeah, too bad at an event, if everybody had a power socket, and we wouldn't, take down the grid, we could turn out the lights.
Oh,
for
I
the
know.
First half hour of the show, and you could, somehow have the aisle side lit. You could have
Absolutely.
everybody light up the sets, so,
Exactly.
That might actually, that might help some of the sales too.
yes, it would.
Especially this
I mean,
one.
it plays like crap, but it looks, oh boy, I can't.
Plus,
wait
it
to
would
get
be
home.
it would make some great photography for me as well.
Yes, that's true. Be good for the
um,
photographer.
But what a neat radio. Helicopters. And a
Who
neat,
needs an 84-inch TV anyway?
yeah, that's right. When you can have 8 or less. Another TV. This is kind of neat. It is a Philco. Is that Philco? Oh. But maybe
Could
I'm.
be
Oh, I think I'm
anything.
seeing a
That could be
reflection.
is
It's
that
a
a reflection maybe
It
from
is a
another
reflection.
radio?
Yeah.
It says it does say Philco. Something is yeah, weird. I don't know what it could be. But at any rate,
Hey, John, that Philco radio from a few slides back,
yeah,
that's a model 38-7.
38-7.
38-7. 2 bands. AM broadcast and the shortwave was 5.7 to 18.
Now, how did
6.2.
they stationize those where they sold nationally? That's the thing that kind of throws me.
Well, in the picture I have, in Ron Ramirez, who is that?
Sounds
Hey,
like some
John?
aliens.
I think we
John Comer.
yeah, somebody has to mute because when I'm sharing, I can't see the.
All right.
That sounds like Bruce
Got it.
Almighty.
Cousin It has joined the new
Oh,
England Vintage
that's
Electronics
awesome.
Club. I forgot to tell you guys.
It's the Adams Family Hour.
We're okay. Hold on a second here.
It's got to be one of those ham radio single sideband guys is what the problem is.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
I've got him
I
on the
got-
text. I'll text him.
I got him. I got him.
You got him. So, all right, just to
Yeah.
finish, it had 4 controls, tuning on and off, band switch and volume. These models feature automatic tuning. And then in the pic, this is Ron Ramirez's book, 2nd edition. And it has all the stations on there that you have in that photo of yours.
Interesting.
What does automatic tuning mean?
Don't know. He doesn't describe that much.
What a beautiful radio.
Oh, That's
It's cool.
that was also featured in a console that they had, a model 38-4.
Yeah,
Same radio in a console.
I could see that winding up like in a chair side or something, you know.
Yeah.
As far as automatic tuning goes, instead of having push buttons, this round knob that we see, yes, that one, there's a hole in the middle of it, and you can put a special tool in there, and you can, there was a cone-shaped piece, and you put the screwdriver in, turn that, and you could set the cones to various stations, and then the next time you wanted to go to the station, you
It would-
move that knob to
it
where
would-
you would park that cone.
Fall into
Interesting.
place. Yeah, okay.
Russ, did that control, the tuning control, did that rotate around the entire dial?
It did, so the
All
whole
right.
dial spins around, yes.
All right.
I mean,
'cause that's-
take a look at that. Don't zoom out too far yet. I mean, there's
Okay.
like the implied range of this set where like I recognize obviously WPRO, Providence, Rhode Island, and
Yep, yep.
WBZ from Boston. And then I see that I think I saw a WNAB. Where was WNAB? I thought my grandmother
Yeah,
used to listen to
this-
that, and she was in Southern Connecticut.
over
So
Maybe
there,
that's
yep.
it?
And you got WTIC, which is 1080, right?
and that's Hartford, you know,
Yeah.
so it's like this thing could,
WHDH, which was 850 for years and years and years.
if it
Now-
could really pull in all those stations from like multiple states, then that's pretty impressive.
Now,
Yeah,
the photo in Ron's book here is too small for me to read the stations on there, but it appears that they were personalized depending on, what you
where you
want.
lived, probably where you lived, in the area you lived.
So the dealer could swap out a dial
Mm.
for you.
Yeah.
How
Interesting.
neat. I like
But I
it.
mean,
That's-
there are 3 different states of New England represented on that dial right there.
Well, then you also have to consider though the lack of other RF radio sources in those days,
Yep,
and
yeah, almost
probably
everyone was
throw
clear
a
channel.
25-foot hunk of copper wire out the window, and you might be there. You might not even need really very sophisticated, or you might need some type of a Philco aerial kit
Mhm.
available from your dealer for way too much money.
Yep,
Was
No.
WEAF New York City?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
So yeah, that's what I mean. You've got New York, you've got Providence, Rhode
WOR,
Island, you've
yep.
got Connecticut, you've got obviously Massachusetts. I don't know. I'm not well versed enough in what the call letters are of states from like Maine or anything way back in the day. but,
WMEX, that's
Yeah,
another Massachusetts call sign.
was from New
you know,
York. City.
WOR, I mean, that was
Ours,
New York.
Yeah, who wouldn't- yeah,
710. It's still 710 to this day.
you could have listened to Rambling with Gambling back then.
Yep.
Yeah, by the
One
way,
last thing, here's the, wait, where is it? Homemade tool, and this is one of the cone-shaped pieces that's behind there that you use to set the stations.
Interesting.
Doesn't have WADS from Ansonia, Connecticut, but that's okay.
yeah, while we're ogling this thing, I mean, look at the beautiful dial.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just a perfect art
The
technology.
detail work on
It's just
the little
gorgeous.
metal insert looks like
Mexico
metal.
City, Honolulu.
I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you look at it and get pretty close. I mean, it's, that's a nicely designed. You wouldn't grow tired of looking at this thing on a day-to-day basis, on or off.
No, and it's well preserved too. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
other thing,
Yeah, this is a
And
nice.
no,
Even the finish looks, I mean, look at the top of that set, nobody put a vase or their
No,
scotch
this
and
is.
soda on the top.
I think this is Bruce's radio. I'm pretty sure. This is.
Yeah, probably lightly used. He found it in a closet.
Only turned on Sundays. But anyway, yeah, gorgeous
Nice
radio.
set. And the grill, the little wooden detail work over the speaker is
Oh,
nice
wait.
too.
Speaking of Philcos, here's another. This one's another nice one.
Roughly the same year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the other nice thing too is that there's not a lot of loss on that dial. It looks pretty, even from a photograph, it looks pretty, the relief is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice style. I mean, I think the other one's a little more eye candy, but it's very nice. Very nice radio. Oh,
Those little
a
backlit
a grande concert boy just happened to be there, grabbed the shot, Whoops, missing an have to take some points off. But solid, those are solid radios. know that well, Paul.
Did you take one of those? Do you buy it?
No, I did not. I did not.
You don't buy anything anymore. You're no fun. You're worse
No,
than
I
me.
can't. Oh, I overindulged back in the Springbrook line, so I didn't. You know, I'm just trying to compensate.
I have to go and lose things, not buy things. That's
Yeah, there you go.
where I'm at.
Is this an AK or see if who anyone knows?
Yeah.
Nice 3-dialer, original cord.
Yeah, real neat.
Don't plug that in.
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Where's the fun?
It comes with a fire extinguisher.
That's where you walk around with your friends and say, I'll buy it if you plug it in at your house. You know?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a battery
People
set.
People
so
you
you're
don't
pr-
like.
It's a battery set, so you're probably not going to plug it in
Oh, it is a
unless you
battery
have
set.
the batteries.
Oh, DC makes even faster flames than AC. That's good.
It's the is instantaneous gratification, right? Oh, Tom, you're a very nice display as always.
Hmm.
I think
Like
I've
that
better shots
signage.
later. Oh, some consoles. I apologize. You'll see some duplicate photos because I started with my Olympus camera and I wasn't sure how well the pictures are going to come out. So I went also to my my iPhone and I think they came out a wash. But this is a nice zenith, really nice zenith. Beautiful, beautiful shape. You know, if you wanted to see it, it seemed like a really nice one to go run home with. I think, as I recall, it was a reasonably priced. Maybe it was dropped. I thought I saw a sign that said show special. It might have been like $350 or something. I can't remember for sure. I could be wrong. Nice console though. Oh, a keel table. Yep.
And it is no longer mine.
Oh, that was yours?
Yep. As
Uh,
well as the Atwater Kent to the left of it there. You have a
would
little
you-
bit of the stand-up. I don't know if you wasted a photo on the other kind of
I did.
pedestrian stand-up, but
I did. I always take my console photos.
yeah, the interesting story here on these was that the gentleman who actually wound up buying both of those came to the event in some type of small gas sipping vehicle from Vermont, but then wound up having to make a second trip all the way to Massachusetts
Oh,
to pick
God.
them up in his Ford Excursion a few days later. So they
That's
probably
hilarious.
cost him, you know, a fair amount of gas money since he had to take 2 trips to retrieve them. But at least they found a good home. The family is listening to them and enjoying them, so it's a good thing. And he's from the Rutland, Vermont area, so I told him to join the club because I assured him there were members of the club who lived in Vermont who would be more than happy to come over and work on them if they ever needed it. But they, you know, they both played well. But obviously they're not going to play well forever. They're both almost 100 years old, but they do still both work.
Golden voice table. Very nice. Yeah, there you
Yeah, it
go.
was in good shape. You know, that was a
There you
good
go.
shape too. I did my best to replace the grill cloth with something that didn't look too ridiculous, but
Oh, that's pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable, John.
and that cabinet was in good shape. The finish was
Yeah.
good. So, you know, they have a new home.
That's good. That's couldn't-
$7.95. Yikes.
I know. Is that a crack in the right-hand side too?
Yeah, it looks like it was. I think you're right. I think that was. Yeah. 7 nights. Yes. Yeah. I think that's neat radio though.
Yep. A lot of money for a broken AM radio, but that's just me.
I think
It's
Um,
not
Probably
just
get
you.
that same chassis in any one of
It's
100 Emerson
like,
models.
sorry, were my lips moving? I was only supposed to be thinking that. I wasn't supposed to
That's
say that.
okay, John. No, Catalan is one of those weird things. I mean,
Yep.
it has its allure for some folks, and other people say, "Why do I even want to buy something?" Because a lot of people with Catalans don't even play them.
yeah,
You know,
I think
Well,
They wouldn't even play
it's
'em with
just
an
a
AM
cheap little radio chassis inside.
yeah, it's a neat radio.
Well, it's like it's like the Philco Predicta television sets. They're really poorly designed television chassis
But they
with
look cool,
real
you
heat
know.
problems and reliability issues, and people will pay big money for them because they look like they came from Mars.
Yeah,
Well,
You know, I
those
think-
Martian repair shops are. They fix anything.
I remember this. This might have been Bruce's radio, but I remember the camera makes the repair look far more obvious than the naked eye when you're there.
Sometimes
I
is the
remember looking
case.
at it
Yeah, no, that happens. Yep.
because if I looked
So
at
the
it,
test on the Catalan is like in a darkened room when you light it up at night. I don't know if that would, they look pretty neat because you kind of see the glow through the cabinet to an extent on some of them.
yeah,
So I don't know if that would highlight or not highlight the ding.
that's a
And
great.
Catalans come down a great deal. I mean, something like that without that cut, without that crack, a couple of years back, there's somebody asked you 1995.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, what do
But-
I know?
it's a neat radio. I love the dial face. There's
Ooh, that's a far better radio than your Emerson. I'll tell you right there.
yeah, that's a nice radio.
And the case
Doesn't
is
glow in the
great
dark
shape.
though.
But that's a dual dial lights, so the dial is side lit,
Right.
Yep.
and it has the funky Philco antenna that kind of resembles like conduit piping or plumbing. It's a hot AM set, and the shortwave isn't bad either. And the push buttons are all there. That's remarkable.
Yeah, it's a really nice.
And they're
app.
not melted.
Original
You have
decals. come on.
WABC, WR. Yeah, it looks like a New York radio.
Yeah, EAF. Yep.
I don't know.
They might
100
smell funny
unrestored
though.
might
You
be a
never
little bit.
know.
And the band's light on those 4 indicators on the right hand side there as you switch from band to band.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So, if you're on the broadcast band, the lower one where your arrow is now with light. Yeah.
So you're saying there are
So
individual lights for the bands?
Yeah. It has the old FM on there. I have a similar one that's a 345T. It's a 42 version, and it's a little different shape, and it doesn't have the FM. But that's a good set.
Nice shape.
DX,
This cabinet's
you
really
DX the
nice.
East Coast on that with no external antenna and have a good night.
Hmm,
I get cousin Brucey up here on that, no problem at all in Boston.
there you go. And then of course you want something
Whoa.
There's
a little more
radio.
modern.
Good heavens.
But this is apparently these are kind of like these called classic collectibles. I mean, nobody like for me it'd be a little I wouldn't be prepared to have that in my collection. But believe it or not,
If
people
you push the wrong button, you get slimed.
yeah, probably true. It spits out of the speaker, Yeah. Well, there you go.
And if you take all that plastic out of the way, there's like one integrated circuit that does everything
That's
that's
probably true.
inside there.
But
Could probably pick up WBZ at night.
got a cassette player. There's something there.
Oh, it's a
Does.
cassette player too. All right.
Yeah. See?
Didn't even know they had cassettes.
Yeah. It's
I thought that
disturbing,
was-
but
Probably not
functional.
auto reverse though.
Take it off the Philco before you scratch it, for God's
Yeah,
sakes,
no
man.
kidding.
What are you thinking?
I got this $10 radio that I just marred the finish of the radio below it.
Yeah, the beautiful 1941.
Yeah.
Don't-
That nice Zenith.
Got those classic Zenith knobs.
Yeah. Right.
I saw one of those fully restored, completely refinished, and the guy does a really nice refinishing job. $795 on the
Wow.
Radiomatic. So for the pedestrian buyer who won't fix
This
his own
one
stuff.
was
The big thing there is,
150.
those knobs look original and the push buttons are there, and
Was there supposed to be
Despite the-
some type of like plastic cover, plastic lens of some kind over that dial face?
You know, it looks a little hazy to me. I can't see if there's one or there isn't. Maybe it's missing one. Well, that could be a Mark Palmquist job.
Hard to
You know?
tell.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been broken out. You're right, John.
Yeah,
Still got the pointer and the
Yeah.
dial.
made
Pretty
in
good.
made in United States of America.
How
There you-
remarkable.
Hell yeah.
Oh, goody. You need some test equipment? There
That's
you go.
test equipment.
You'll find your problem
Ugh.
right there.
There you go. Got your TOs.
I guess we've all had our TO phase.
And that's probably true. I have a modern one, but it's the last of the good modern ones.
Nice little Heathkit there. You got
Yeah.
a brochure and case.
Yeah, I thought it was this, I'm trying to remember, was this Rogers table? It might have been Rogers.
I think I remember seeing somebody walking out with that.
Yeah, it was Healthy Tanks. I think the price was pretty fair too.
Yep.
Beetle plastic.
I remember was this Howard's? I'm thinking to myself whether this might have been Howard's.
So here's my question. How could anybody read the frequency indications on that knob?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
seriously? I mean, come on.
Not a problem. Look at that.
Did it come with a magnifying glass?
No, well, you use your cell phone.
There you go.
That's right. Oh gosh.
yeah, it's a tiny little radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or my eyes are just shot.
No, I think we're all suffer from unfortunately our age
Too
group.
many screens, too many computers, too many phones.
All
You don't really,
miniaturization.
you don't look at it. You just twist it around until you hear
Find
something
what
that
you
you
like.
like.
I get it. Yeah.
There you go. And if you happen to be able to
Numbers,
read it, that's like
Then
a
you take
bonus.
your black magic marker and you put a big mark up the side of that marble.
There you
there.
go. You go like, oh,
So
doing,
some guy
Get
in
your Sharpie
2021
out
can cuss
there and
you
just,
out.
you know.
That's right. Yeah. Every now and then you see those though, where like somebody you could tell their eyes were failing, and the guy just draws a big black line.
Oh gosh, yes. They were done to radios with more than clear dial.
Oh, it's always
like
on the
the
ones
Ger-
that the dial is perfect. You know, 'cause
Yep.
Oh.
you would never do it on a crummy one.
Nope.
But I've seen that done on big German radios with big dial faces, that you could see from the ISS, and they still do it. So
Yep. I'm looking at one right now, in fact, in my house.
oh. But this is Howard's. This is the Western. He restored that. What a neat little radio. It sounded great. He was playing it, he was plugged in while we were there. And sounded great.
Is
Great.
that a Lafayette?
This one here, this is a Western.
A Western?
Yeah.
Western Auto.
I know. I mean, that's right.
True
That's
tone.
the auto part.
It's cute.
What's
A typewriter.
well.
Yeah, kind of fun.
What do you use
antique
that for?
antique word processor?
I thought it
Exactly.
was a finger exerciser is what I was
It
told.
is. It's a
It was a
combination.
Peloton for your fingers.
Exactly.
The 1040.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My dad had a nice what's it, German, I forget the manufacturer, it'll come to me later, typewriter. And I used
Should come with some like a Greg Shorthand Award or something, that's inside there somewhere.
You could hit somebody in the head with that and cause some
40
real
words
damage.
per minute, 3 errors.
yeah.
The quick brown fox jumped.
That's
over the
right.
lazy
Jumped
dog.
over the lazy
I did
dog. Speaking of the quick brown fox jumping over the lazy dog.
Sorry, I got to hit the problem is you hold the mouse just a little too long, it skips photos. This is a little thank you, Larry. A big thank you for what a great demonstration this was.
Even if it didn't play Jingle Bells, it was still really good.
It was
the
a lot
Jingle
of fun.
Bells thing I picked up from the engine. That was cool. I like that. That's pretty. I mean, we all have our things that we find interesting. Yes.
That was
I'm
great.
sure I could write Duncan Brown and get a tape punch to that. So next time I can play Jingle Bells.
Yeah, that was quite amazing. Very impressive.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And we can get I think I have a better close up here, but you can see the newser
Well,
It's
that's what
probably
they
been
would
wrapped up
say,
in
just
time,
off the wire,
That's up the wire.
just off the wire.
I felt like I was in the failsafe movie or something there at the time. You know?
You hear the ding and the guy rips it off. And
Yeah, it rips it off.
just
You write
handed
it
this
in.
news, this breaking news.
We had to have Harry Gladstone read it. He was
Have you had it?
he
Have
was
you
a
had a
neg-
chance to post the video yet, John? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I need to. I apologize. It's on my to-do list. I will try to do it in the coming hopefully by the weekend, maybe by Sunday. I'll send a notification. It's only like a 20-second video, so people don't have to be, but it's fun. I do a quick sweep in and you get to see all the things running. And I also took a quick one of the exposed unit. And I've got Noah's because you piped in. All you need is a smell of the Lionel trains, you know,
Right, the ozone.
the ozone,
The
thank you.
ozone
And
smell.
I'm talking with you, so it's fun to get a little bit of background discussion. But again, it's only like 10 seconds. I will post that, Larry, because it's a fun little thing. And
Well,
people
the
love it.
machine oil smell was in the air, but the ozone was not. So, you know, it was half of the experience I was looking for. But
That's right. But I share your as having a train set my brother did when we were growing up as kids. I love that smell. It was the perfect everything you needed to satisfy the evening, the visuals and the smell. But this is great. This is really cool.
you know, part of Christmas, you got to have the old O gauge trains burning up on the tracks.
Or like the Addams Family, you have them collide with this. Let's see, there's a more close up. What a nice job that was.
Yeah, nothing beats the motion though. You know, you got to watch the video.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't do it justice on still photos. Is the national? It is.
Collins.
Sorry.
Collins.
Oh, thank you. I was having trouble identifying this one. I don't know whose table this was. It'll come to me later, but there's a variety of, interesting gear.
A Morris coil winder.
Mm.
Good stuff. Oh, seen it.
AM FM.
Pretty popular, common stuff, but very, attractive.
Nice little sets for what they are.
Yeah. They made them all sorts of colors.
And nice sounding. The dial was painted though.
Yeah, and it's got that one still retained the little Zenith logo on the grill cloth on the right, which is
Yeah, I saw
really
that.
missing.
Here, I'll
So
go back
add
and
another
see.
$10 to your price.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
little
that's-
cube.
It's a bonus because they dropped off a lot. They fell off
That's the
a lot.
bonus.
Yeah, no question. Zenith, little table radio, tabletop.
It looks like the speaker's really got to push its way through those little slots.
Oh yeah, for sure. Here's
I'm not sure if the speaker didn't also come out if there were some slots on the side on that thing too. If the,
Hmm.
it's
let's have to go back and look. I can't remember it now. I see my photo didn't capture enough. It might another one might, but
I'm not sure if that version, but there was the cube version where the speaker came pointing down.
And the aftermarket 960 in the background.
oh yes. Good eyes, but yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is Roger's table.
nice little portable.
Oh, I grew up
Couple
with
nice
one of
little
those and I really just don't know what happened to it, but it's a childhood memory and I wish we still had it. That was with the WADS from Ansonia, Connecticut every Saturday morning for the Victor and Sophie Zambruski Polish Eagle show.
Oh, interesting.
With polkas blasting out of it in the backyard while Dad watched and waxed the car. It was a great radio. It was a really good sounding radio for a silly little plastic Zenith, and it was both battery and electric. Not that we had the batteries for it, but it had the plugs inside. When you broke it open in half, it split in half.
Yeah.
along the dial face, so you could, put in
You
your
know, if
A and B
you
battery.
ever want to relive your polka dreams, I don't know if it is still on or not, but there was a polka show on out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island on Sunday mornings, believe it or
Hmm.
not. And there's still some type of polka activity down there. They haven't arrested them all yet.
No, I've got plenty of
And
records in my collection from
but it was
Frankie
just kind of funny
Yankovic.
because I have this Stromberg Carlson, and one Sunday morning before I went out, I was tuning around, and it's like a polka show, really? It's 2012, but
Yep.
the guy was still at it, and there
Yep.
was somebody listening. So, but as they say in Rhode Island, it's Woonsocket,
Hmm.
not Woonsocket.
But it was great the way that dial spun around in the center, and
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat radio.
I tell my son that's why the radios were so loud, is because you might not have one in every room, so you turn
Oh,
it
right.
on in the living room, and you'd hear it throughout the house while you did your cleaning.
we had, that was kind of
Change
that
the
was my
beds.
start in the stupidity of this whole hobby, is that I against my mother's and father's knowledge, I kind of tapped into the speaker of that radio, and I ran wires. We were living in a early, well, probably an actual 1960s ranch in southern Connecticut, and the heating system in the house was forced hot air
Mhm.
by oil, so there were ducts all over the house going into every room, return ducts and heating ducts, and that's
Yep.
where I ran the speaker wires so that I could have my separate little speaker box with a 1/4-inch phono plug, phone jack type thing, and I had wires showing up down in the garage and coming out the side into the backyard, and
That's hilarious.
where the radio could stay in the house and I could listen to it anywhere. And my parents didn't know I ran these wires all through their ductwork to have remote speakers everywhere.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
whoever bought the house probably thought there was some type of a communist spy.
Well, it's
through the
house
it's
is
still in
fine.
it's still in the family. My nephew and his wife and their 2 kids still live in the same house. So
Very nice.
When I move out of this place, it'll probably take me a week just to remove all the wires I've been stringing from room to room for the past 40 years.
Arf.
he's a dynamic tube tester
Uh-oh, I'll have to feel sorry about this.
as opposed to a static tube tester.
Who's got the dog?
I'm sorry. It's a vicious attack dog.
Oh, it's you. Aha.
I'll get it, I'll get it.
Maybe he was citing
If you
his
heard me
approval.
scream.
Maybe he's citing, well, is that, is he the,
I thought it was
his master's-
Nipper. We were about to
It's
look at some
Nipper, that's
RCAs.
right, That's right.
his master's voice, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He more than likely wants some kibble.
There we go. No worry about that. No biggie.
The vicious
Damn.
attack dog. Look out.
Oh, there we go. He's just wanting to be on. Oh, what a cutie.
All 6 pounds of her.
No.
All right, be quiet. Go away.
Any radio name for the dog?
Cassie.
Oh, okay.
You can call her Chassis if you want.
I was going to
There we
say
go,
Cassie
chassis.
rhymes with chassis.
There we go. We'll go with Chassis.
Go.
What? Let's see, various full variety of radios and stuff. Ah, there's Al. He had a number of nice radios there, a few TOs and
Sailboat there.
yeah, it's nice stuff. Yep, here's one of the TOs. It was all restored. This here is Crosley. Also restored. Little radio. Oh, that's one of those what's that? What's the, I can't think of the name.
Right.
It escapes me. You
They
lift
had
up,
this-
Like
Mitchell?
a guild, a spice chest.
Yes.
Guild, yeah, the spice
They-
chests and the country bell and the
Yeah, they had a little
lantern
telephone,
and
We had
telephone
two-
type thing.
I have a photo of one of the others. I might have taken a photo of this one as well. I thought there was a couple at the show. One was Al's. It's a cute kit. It's that dynamic tube tester. There we go. That's Roger's table.
yeah.
And of course, there's clearly Roger. Al in the background. Oh, this is Paul's table, I believe. Look, the boy. A very nice Filco. He did all the work himself on the cabinets, so he told me.
Super job.
Yeah, oh gosh, yes. Beautiful. I mean,
It's nice where they have that metal escutcheon, no tenite
Yep.
to worry about, so it doesn't cheat out on you, but that's a beauty.
yeah, it's
And a
real
pretty
good.
decent radio too.
I had a very similar radio to that, and it was one of those things that was really unfortunate, and I could never figure out how to. I brought it home, and I put it in my bedroom, and like 2 days later, it was like, "What is that smell?" And it was, and those it was either the buttons or the knobs or something. They were just like, it had that weird outgassing old plastic smell that I couldn't make go away.
Oh, okay.
Some of those Filcos have like the translucent, it's like a reddish push button that lights up when you, very nice.
Look at that.
Here's a Nordmenda. This is
How
the
much does that weigh, John? About 22 pounds?
Yeah, I'll tell you, those
Very portable.
They
Your weight workout.
Transportable.
Yeah, this is a Globe Trotter, I believe, or Globe
Luggable.
Traveler. That's right, Globe Traveler. That's right. They had a few. This is a nice radio. Yeah, like you said, they're heavy. They even, of course, the tube ones were even heavier, but it was kind of laughable. Yeah, portable is at least you can pick it up and move it around, but you're going to get some good exercise doing so. Yeah, that's a nice radio. That shape. In fact, Paul was playing it. Certainly played very strongly. Oh yeah, this is one of those repros. It's actually kind of neat. It's a quote, I put it in quotes, Crosley, but it's it's kind of a cool looking teardrop design. Yeah, I thought it was pretty inoffensive for a modern knockoff.
Bluetooth enabled.
Oh yeah, probably. Oh, this is nice. Grundig satellite, certainly a strong performer.
Wow, what table was that at? I don't even remember seeing that.
That's Paul's.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can see right behind is this Grundig.
Yep.
Shots of Grundig. Yeah, this one apparently was restored, plays well, but it was, of course, obviously you have to bring your own speakers.
Yep. Your 2 pinned in connectors.
This I believe should be odd. Yes, you're right. Exactly. For the speaker connections, yeah. Although Grundig did some weird things with their connections on the receiver.
Yep.
Most everybody else did 2 pinned in to 2 pinned in, but some ought to be different. But this one has the neat variable equalizer. It's pretty functional stuff. I mean, for early 60s, it's pretty impressive. I would not have mind owning this, frankly, but got to have some speakers, which I could. It
doesn't have the pull out, fold down teak door though to cover it up.
No, not like Telefunken that
Yep.
did that in those period radios. Yeah, that's always nice. Oh, Philips, another nice radio. I actually have a better photo of this, so I'll skip and move on. We'll see a better one later. Oh, this is neat. That the Zenith radio battery box and look pretty genuine to me. TO. Nice Zenith. Another compact, but nice skin cabinet.
You must have made millions of those.
Yeah, you see them a lot. You do that, and the one we were seeing with the one where had the grill cloth and the emblem there.
Yeah.
That's another commonly seen one. These two styles you see, but very attractive. Nice radio.
Mhm.
It's particularly nice, the dark cabinet, the bright ring. Okay, that was another, forget, another run of Paul's.
Wunschklang.
Oh, right. This is Wunsch in German basically means wish. So you're basically, your sound of your wishes, basically. So because you're just not,
UKW.
yeah, there you go. Right. This one is at best 100, maybe 104 if you're really lucky. Oh, that's right. In Grundigs, they go vice versa. So,
Yes.
yeah, this is neat. But I think it needed some work because I think, it's a nice shape.
We all know how easy they are to work on.
Yeah, only $100.
I have to give the Lurch grumble there. This is nice. This is one of those radios. It's just, I'll tell you, that just jumps at you. This radio.
American Overseas.
Yeah, it's just really a nice little radio. It's Crosley.
They have like a Patriot version of that with a red, white, and blue type dial, and it's very cool.
What's the third knob from the left?
This here? Oh,
Yeah.
PA.
PAD? PAO?
Or is it O or is it, I guess that's an O. I guess that's not a D. I thought it was a D, but it looks
Police
like it.
American Overseas.
Ah, there you go.
Okay.
Give the man a cigar.
So it's a band switch,
Yeah.
even though it doesn't, well, I guess it has numbers and things on it for multiple bands.
Yeah, I guess it splits
It does
here.
have a shortwave.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
They have those in Bakelite. That's just those are pretty decent performers too. I had a friend who had one, and he liked a DXAM on it, and he said it was a pretty good set.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
That's the GE with these thumb wheel.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing on those is that's what's always worn off, but the grill cloth I do not think is original.
No, I think I'm pretty sure that looks like a redo.
It looks like it's, yeah, been restored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a faux finish on the sides.
Yeah, but it
Somehow he
radio.
saved or he redid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a redo for sure.
Pain in the butt.
I bet. It does nice work.
Mm.
Here's another one of his.
Oh yes.
Another Philco.
I think I have one of those hideous monstrosities. It's a console and a table.
Yeah, it's
radio.
not a hideous monstrosity. The console is the hideous monstrosity. This is the midget.
That tiger. Oh, it's a midget. It only weighs about 40 pounds.
Right. It's a one person as opposed to a two person carry.
And you used to be able to get those replacement, what was it, Larry Borinato, fellow used to make those replacements for the 41 to 42 Philco escutcheons, you still see them. I think Radio Days has some. They always warp and crack. That's a nice look, kind of the two different tones of veneer there.
Yeah, that's a pretty Zenith. Yeah.
Mm.
Some push buttons. Get the, it's nice semi-toaster look.
Again, it
sporting
looks
that
like something
black
that would have
dial.
been in a console, but then got put into a
Pulled out.
downsized.
Yeah, into a tabletop. Yeah. Yeah, it's neat. Nice little radio. Oh, here's a GE. Interesting swirling in the cabinet there.
Plastic.
Yeah.
There's a fellow who's an off and on member of our club, and I haven't seen him in a while. I think he fell off the membership roll. His name is Jeffrey Buda, Buda. He's up in the North Shore, somewhere near Danvers or Marblehead, and he has a very impressive collection of Beetle plastic radios. I have to say, I saw it and I was like, whoa, He
Oh,
says
really?
none of them really play very great. He says they look exceptionally cool, and I guess they're pretty collectible.
Huh. These lamps are kind of neat in their own way. Oh, this is nice. I have a better picture of this lit up.
Oh yes, oh baby.
Yeah, that's nice. I got that. They had two neon signs. This and a Speed Queen sign, which I took because it was fun. You know, obviously not super related, but for anyone who likes vintage,
Anything neon is big money.
Yep.
absolutely.
You
This was kind of interesting. Now, that
you
radio.
buy almost any radio for less money than the sign. It's one of those Repwood. What is that? A Crossley?
Oh,
Crossley and Emerson did some of those things.
hard to say. The badge. I mean, I assumed this was a.
I would go out on a limb and say that's a Crossley.
Yeah, it is, Paul.
There we go.
Doesn't get any uglier than that.
Whoops, sorry about
If you
that.
spilled water on it, the Repwood probably just like separates too.
There we go.
I like the DeWalt. That's kind of a sharp looking set, huh?
That is a beautiful set. That was a real looker. You know, just I love the
It's on fire.
It
Yeah,
does.
it's
Like
that flame
fire
look,
finish.
like a 50s hot rod, you know.
Yep.
good.
Yeah,
True fire.
true fire. That's sharp. That's a really sharp little radio. And I would hazard to guess the broadcloth is fairly original. That caught my eye. Various.
Greeby syncopes.
There you go.
Kenrad. More known for their tubes than radios, I would think.
Crosley?
Hmm.
That's a nice looking set. Look at
Yeah,
that
it is.
marquetry. Very nice.
Yeah, look at that.
Majestic.
Very handsome. Yep, silver tone with something going awry there.
It's an option.
Yeah. Someone must have pulled it. Whoops.
What's this do?
I think
Oh.
the candy cane type dial thing there kind of illuminates. I think there's a dial light in there. They
Yeah,
look
I
pretty
think so
decent in there.
too.
Little 5-tuber. They made those in a brown Bakelite as well.
Chassis comes out the bottom, especially if you're not paying attention.
Like one of those little
When you pick
Bendix
it up off the
guys,
table.
yes.
Ah,
Whoosh.
That's why the tuning dial was like, oh, look
Yeah,
at
got
that.
ripped out.
this is a the thing is
It's a
I think it's a
nightmare.
Grundig 4070U, which I happen to have one of these.
As long as
I
as
think
long
John
as you
immediately thinks of like restringing the dial cord.
as long as you can speak as long as you can speak Siemens as
Yeah.
opposed, for the units of measure of the components.
Oh, yikes. Well, I'll tell you this. Now,
It's 1.2 millisiemens.
I'll say this. To me, I'm sort of like a little bit, it's not a real looker. It's a reasonable looking
Nope.
radio, but it's not a real looker. But I'll tell you this: the sounds makes up for the look. I have one of these with a couple of period Grundig Klang Strahler LS2Bs. So that and this has a mine's the darker finish, and the bookshelf speakers are the same finish, and it sounds great. It has a great sound, so you won't be disappointed. The one that works really well. These, and they're not, you can find these enough, they're not that expensive. If you find one that's reasonably sorted out, grab it. If you want nice stereo sound, plus it accepts the 2 additional speaker outputs, and you have 4 speakers, you won't be disappointed. That's my sales pitch for tonight. They sound nice. Yep, nice little Grundig, majestic. I remember the model. It was 3077. That's right. He's also had the variable equalizer, plus the sound
Sound control.
register buttons. Nice. These are nice little radios. You be disappointed.
Better than that Bose, John?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. Oh yeah, here we go. This is a
A Tannhauser.
Tannhäuser. You know, this is a probably from 58 or 59.
Can only listen to Wagner.
That's right. But this is a Sterling edition because you can see it's got more limited. It's got the full U.S. spectrum, so it's a
Yes.
Sterling.
High fidelity.
And it's high. And you know these. I have a 57. You know, I call it the Tannhäuser because it weighs about 40 pounds. So picking it up, it's like you ever watch Seinfeld with Mandelbaum? It's like, you know, oh my back. They're heavy. They're heavy radios. But you know they're neat. These were their Lord Mendes flagship radio. So they threw everything they had at them. These some sound register buttons and so forth. 4 speakers. Some speakers.
Never have enough contacts that can go bad.
Yeah. Some reason I took the back of this. I'm trying to remember why, but I don't think we didn't spend too much time on that. Ah, John's table before people arrived. Yeah, 4 tables, lots of books. This is what is this? Something looks like something's missing here. I'm not sure what kind of radio this is. I don't know if anybody knows, but not jumping at me. Nice, neat Emerson, right? Yes, Emerson, right? Yeah. Another catalog.
Sunburst type kind of look, yeah.
Yeah,
Not the sunburst though, but yeah, those are collectible.
yeah, it's neat. I like
Those
that.
little pieces on the inside seem to freak out more than the case. I don't know if it's a different type of plastic.
Oh,
But again, who plays them? You know, those are all about collecting.
yeah. This was neat.
Oh, that was amazing. This guy had a lot of weird stuff.
I know what to make of it, but I said, wow, this is just cool too cool not to take a photo.
It's like
What
it's a
is it?
Japanese pagoda type radio or something. I don't know. It's,
It says stamp. Am I reading to say stamp radio stand? I get a chance to review these that carefully, but it says stand,
I
S-T-A.
don't know. Looks like that globe thing underneath should light up and
yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought,
the hell
wow,
out of
I'd like to see this light. I know what this does, but boy, it's cool. I've never seen one before.
He also had that television that had a screen about the size of a little smaller than your phone.
Yes, in fact, I have a photo of that. A silver tone, very nice. This was the guy who was selling the grill cloth. Michael something another.
My cats.
Yes, thank you. That was a pretty nifty little silver tone. Now what we got here?
the GE.
Yeah.
Pretty stately looking.
Motorola. That's what it is, yes. Now a Motorola portable. I think it's Bruce's table because I think this is Zenith radios.
Portable land.
Oh yes, yeah, this is his table. Yeah, this was interesting.
Bonds.
Bones. That's quite a Zenith 8H034. Another Charles Ames cabinet design. AM, FM, actually twin band FM on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or the early FM that does nothing in the full FM. This looks again right out of 50s dashboard car.
Yep, the brownish, dark brown knobs that have the white mold growing on them.
Oh yeah. And this year is, what is this?
Sentinel.
This is an AM/FM. I'm trying to think of what to make.
Wow.
Because you can see it through, if you look more carefully, there it is.
Yep.
You know,
Wouldn't
Okay.
expect it from the overall look of it. It doesn't look new enough to have FM, real FM.
I know. But I'm trying to think what the manufacturer is. It's not jumping at me. Another
Racetrack.
racetrack. This is Bruce doesn't remember. Coca-Cola radio. You're a Coca-Cola aficionado. This is really majestic. You know, it
Is
almost
it
looks
part
like
of the lamp?
yeah, it almost look like a train car. I mean, it's like, wow, I couldn't.
Looks like
I
a
think we-
yeah,
It's trying to.
barbecue grill. You'd
a
live to see
diner.
it.
Yeah, there you go. A diner is almost, I think, a better analog. It's probably because, you know, it's on your dining room, probably on your dining table, your kitchen table in the morning. And that's what you do. You turn on your radio. Really neat.
And then the blob comes out and swallows you up.
Well, fortunately, you have your brew, but you swat it back. Yeah. Good stuff. I really like that. I guess they're pretty uncommon. I know Bruce is asking a pretty hefty price for it, so I assume these are pretty rare. Oh, here's a nice Grundig that went quickly. I saw someone grab it, ran away for $100. They got themselves. It's Tom restored it. In fact, they wrote a little sign. Says, "This is a great sounding radio. It picks up stuff all over the place." So somebody must have saw it. Said, "For $100, I'm out. I'm in." I mean, and grabbed it, ran away. I forgot who grabbed it. I saw it at someone's table. You know, this again, nice little radio. You would not be disappointed for $100.
With no aggravation, somebody else had repaired it.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Or
I'm
Tom
done.
paid the price.
Yeah, here's a few less hairs.
Yeah, this is neat. But this this is another AM/FM, as we can see. I don't know who made this though. No. Oh wait. I think I see some lettering. Is this Magnavox? Yeah, it looks like Magnavox.
It's got kind of that look to it.
Yeah.
The weird
see-
blend
I see
of
the
plastic and
box.
wood. That's
Yeah, I
pretty-
see Navox here. It's got to be Magnavox.
Yep. Yep.
Neat. Kind of, minimalistic.
So behind that device, the Knight,
Is Stuart
is a
Warner?
pretty nifty Stuart Warner, which was also sold as a Firestone. They're kind of a klutzy looking thing. I mean, it's a 46, so it's just after the war. Slap it together. They've got about a 6-inch speaker in there. It's slug tuned. And I have to tell you, they're great radios. They're, if you can get over kind of, some people think, much car wreck type radios, they're like either repulsive or compelling. And
Like the GE radio, huh?
if you kind of get over the look of it, I mean, they're great players. I mean, they really are. But they're just big and heavy and kind of awkward looking.
Hmm.
And the escutcheons stay stable, whatever that plastic is, because I didn't need
Back
to
up.
deal with it.
Sorry.
Oh, there's a looker.
Oh,
I
you
love
love
those octagonal dials. Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Very sexy.
Bromberg. Yeah, with the magic eye, no less.
Yep.
Oh,
Win-win. For some reason, I think of MG, and then the famous Mars MG, cars. They used a similar design in their logo. Neat though. Well, what we got here?
Oh, yeah.
Admiral.
Yep. I have one of those.
Neat.
They're kind of cute, the way they pop open when you push the little button.
Yeah.
Still has the decals.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
In a box. It's still got the box. Oh, they have
Yeah.
the boxes. I see people selling radio boxes on eBay for more than I want to pay for radios.
Oh,
I know. Well, yeah.
Which is
eBay's just,
maybe a comment on me. I don't know.
I don't know what we got here.
Something from June Cleaver's kitchen.
AA4.
Yeah, just trying to see what this label tells me anything or not.
Makes a good buzzing sound.
Yeah,
even
doesn't
when
know the
fully
words, it
restored.
just hums.
There we go. Yeah, that's his Bruce's display. 'Cause I know he has these little cabinets of various early transistor radios. But some of these look like, you can see where, the Star Trek communicator was born from, kind of looking like this, or just flip open
Yep.
the top and
It's a nice display.
yeah.
Bet you William Shatner took one of those up into space.
I wonder if he
See
did. He should have.
Get his talk radio program.
The tour.
The tour.
Those Star Trek communicators were the first flip phones.
Right.
Yeah.
Motorola's, razors,
Yeah.
before their time.
Some high fives here. Like here.
Don't stop that. Oh,
Got some
Kenwoods.
I know there was that nice Sun at auction one that was, is that Kenwood? But we'll get to it later. Macintosh.
Ooh, and the Mac.
Yeah. And very likely with telefunken tubes in there. Yep. I hit the button. Come on. Oh yeah, little iMac. Anyone who went to walk down early PC road. Ah, more consoles. Nice Philco. Also a nice shape. The cabinet's quite nice. Nice condition.
I have a feeling that was retoned. I don't recall seeing too many blonde
Yeah.
consoles.
No, you may be right.
Interesting.
I've never seen one in that
Kind
color.
of a different look.
Yeah,
Matches the grill cloth.
yeah. You never know. Occasionally you get these things that were, low production, low ask, and some, maybe, it's.
I would take a guess on that previous one though, because the decal looked like it was kind of gone around and it was a darker finish.
Okay, let's see if I can hit that.
So maybe he saved the original decal, but then did the case as a lighter
let's
piece.
see if I can show- So you're
I
saying,
mean, I don't mean to be. See the decal up top.
oh, right.
above the-
Oh, yeah. Huh. Yeah, that looks
But
suspect.
I mean, you never know what nightmare presented itself to whoever tried to do that.
Yep.
It makes sense because it
Just
does.
said I'm going to make it. I'll do it this way. I don't have the right toning lacquer. I don't know. Who
Yeah, I
knows?
think you may be right.
I
It
judge
does look-
not.
I think that's a good observation. I suspect. This is
It was
not
done
it.
in the early 1950s when blonde wood was very popular.
Yeah. There's some truth behind it because, in fact, some of the German makers offered the dark and the blonde, like like the
Blonde
Opus,
on blonde.
the Opus 7 could be offered in essentially 3 basic versions. You had these traditional version,
Yeah, they wanted whoever did this, they wanted to bring it up into the mid-century look.
There you go.
Mhm.
That set next to it's kind of a neat set.
I think this is it, right? Yeah. Or
Yeah.
I think I have
With
a
a-
photo of it. Yeah, this is it.
The nice wood lattice work over the grill there. That's a
Yeah, an
beautiful-
AK. Yeah, it's pretty console.
very
all-
nice.
Actually, all the
detail.
consoles that were there were really nice. All of them. There was no basket cases there. Various.
Anybody looking
Big
to
iron.
Yeah,
get
big
a
iron.
back problem before they left for the afternoon?
Yeah,
Buy one of those.
a couple of RCA and a GE.
Those RCA's are kind of klutzy, but they have a big speaker in there, and for 5 tubes, they sound
Usually a
pretty
little
good.
RCA
Plus,
jack
they
you
must
can
all have
plug
those
the
little- yes,
record player
exactly,
into as
yes.
well.
They have a variety of those. The bullhorn, they got that thing. There's another one they call the Gladwin. I made
Yeah,
this
they're
hideous
boomers.
attempt at fixing the grill cloth on the Gladwin with this lame stuff from Joanne Fabrics. That's just, oh God, it was a disaster. It needs to be redone. It sounds good. It just looks hideous. It's all right. Turn the light out. Little console tone.
Yeah, this is a pretty common genus, but yeah, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Is that an All-American Bosch below it or American Bosch below that one?
I'll see if I got a better photo of that. Let me see what the thing says.
Yes, it is. So 205, American Bosch
Maybe
205.
from
There you
Springfield,
go.
Mass. Bosch had a plant out in Western Mass.
Emerson. Nice radio. Is this your table, Russ?
Yes, it is.
That's what I thought. So, see, some of these look familiar. And because I've seen the Fred Iceman, I said, you know what? The Freed Iceman. I said, yeah, you don't see those too often. I remembered you having one.
Yep, that's it. Or was it? It's gone now.
There you
Good
go.
for you.
Happy man.
Little Arvin,
Yeah, Arvin.
all metal. So it's
Yeah.
much easier to get. Guarantee we give you a shock.
And speaking of which, one of our heroes here got caught in the picture in this, and we got Len behind there. Is that John over there? Catch a few people here. Oh, this is Howard's tube Magic Eye tube demo, which I never go tired of playing with. Oh, this is Ross's table. He had, like, he has two of these Lova Opta. They made, this one is the from probably around 59. I get the exact model number off the top of my head. It's not one that comes, but it has, it's actually a great sounding radio.
I have something that's called an Olympic Opta that looks very similar.
Exactly. I have the same one because Olympic was the importer of Lova Opta. And I think all the exporters would often do is they would have their name thrown on there. It was a US US only set. And so you would get, like, for example, that's why Sterling ends up on the Norge Menda. They'd throw a Sterling label on it if it was US only. Olympic Opta this is exactly the same radio, and I have an Olympic Opta as well. And they're nifty sounding radios because they're two speakers. You get the big one, you get the little one.
I mean, for the size they are, it's amazing what comes out of them.
Oh yeah, and you get these little sound register buttons do a great job. They make the distinction.
It's got a little eye on there too.
It's got a little EM80 eye on there. You got everything in this nice little package. It's a nifty little radio, and these little buttons, they have such nice little the tactile feel. It's unbelievable. You just can't.
I love that a tactile stimulating device. I like that.
Exactly. I mean,
another reason to buy a radio.
Well, you have to. You ever
should be in advertising. You missed.
Well, and you've got the like the gold inlay that's goes in between like the plastic and the wood, and they're just nice.
Yeah, they did a nice job and that's the highest end of a low end radio you could make, because they offered this without the buttons and the single speaker. And so if you could option it up, you throw on some extra buttons, some circuitry, you throw in Magic Eye on there, an extra speaker, and you got a loaded, like getting a loaded Pinto.
Yeah, the Mercury Bobcat.
Exactly.
Hopefully less flammable.
Yes, and this is his brother. He had another one there, which was I think a slightly 1 year earlier, but it's you see the hi-fi label, but essentially the same radio. They probably change from year to year and has like
similar type cabinet with that.
Exactly. He said, "Hey, take these two for 40 or something." I said, "Oh, I've got the Olympic Opta. I can't take 4. It's tempting as it was. I resisted." Some assembly required, by the way, $10. But we want to have fun.
It's an honest seller.
That's how you get started.
Exactly. Here we go. Just a little bit of the front. On here.
Is that a Delco?
Delco. I was gonna say it's a Delco, right?
I got a little glue there, and you be in business.
Yeah, if you want to go in, the ends are in there and playing around. This one, will need caps. So was a Philco needing a little bit of love at work.
So won't they all eventually?
They will all. Our
We'll
state-
need selenium rectifier replaced.
Yes,
Is that a 5T or a 6T, does he say? RCA. Can't see his little tag there.
will need, works needs
Caps.
caps.
I think it's a 5T. Even the 5s are pretty good. That was a good run. They did a series of those 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. RCA was at the top of their game.
Goes up to 1800.
This is a neat airline.
Little airline there. You know, Montgomery Ward's is an online company now. I
Are
don't know
they?
if they make any branded stuff, but yeah, I know somehow or another I think I was trying to find something about a radio and I got directed to this online Montgomery Ward's like
Really?
catalog website.
Yeah,
I thought they were like all washed up when the stores closed.
someone Greg Semlis came up from the dead, with a rebrand. I like some of those airline radios. I've got, of course, I've shown you guys in the past. I have a couple of the newer, solid state portable radios, multi-band ones. What a nifty little radio is. It's my daily driver every morning. Because
Well,
it's
Buzz Gardner made a lot of the tube stuff. That's pretty good. Some pretty good radios.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one. That's right. This is Ross's. It's the 4670, which is the more attractive version of what we talked about. Because they have these nice. I have one as well. The nice slatted grills, which really does a much better job of hiding instead of, I don't know. It just didn't really like the cloth grill. It just makes it a much more appealing one. I have one of these as well, and it turns out good thing I was there with Ross because mine will run for about 20 minutes and turn off. And he said, yeah, it's your I think it's the ELL 80 output tube because they overheat. And so chances are it's the first thing you do is replace the tube and maybe some of the caps around there and you're good to go. So
Yeah, I think there's an electrolytic and a higher powered, higher wattage resistor in parallel with it. And you just change that resistor and change that electrolytic.
you're good to go. So I'll have to do that because mine isn't pretty. It has a couple of minor damage on the cabinet, but otherwise I got it for free. And free is always good when it's in nice shape and it's quite restorable. So what I do with it is, well, that's
Free is always good, and then there's the 2 years of your life that you use up getting it to run again.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'll tell you, when it plays with 20 minutes, it sounds beautiful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it until when it heats up and goes right off.
Only took me 17 years to get it right.
Exactly. But you just put it outside on the porch and listen to it as your winter radio, and then
There
it
you
won't
go.
heat up that much, and you'll be
There you
all
go.
set.
That's the solution. So this one, what is this? Lead? Is there something? Does that say lead or lead?
Lead,
Board.
iode. Yeah, is there what was broken off to the left of it? It's a
That's what I'm
Willard,
thinking.
but the
Something's-
WILLARD, but the WIL is missing.
I never even heard of Willard, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I just made that up.
Kind of a sharp looking little thing. I've heard of Lear, Lear, but
Right. I don't know. What do I think about this?
kind of sharp looking.
Yeah. It must have been Bruce's radio.
It's another Ward Cleaver special.
OGS. Wow, 66. Super Deluxe. That was a neat radio.
Long distance, yes. Oh my God, sound.
This
Yeah.
is this Traveler with the box. And
Now you can take it with you.
now, and you can sing the song. Now you another we got there. GE, yeah. Oh, that was the French radio. I wanted to just take it back because I was curious to see what they did with the back there, with all the various inputs. And it's actually tidy and certainly attractive. The back is nicely done.
put it in the garage next to your Citroen SM.
There we go. Yeah, the SMs are pretty cool. I can live with a GS19.
Yeah.
Still no Do Chevaux though.
Yeah.
On the nice Philco there.
Yeah, very nice. With those nice array of buttons. More hi-fi gear. Potpourri.
Little RCA record player. Gotta
And the
have it.
Heath kit down the
And two
bottom.
kids, yeah. Hey, is this your table?
Yep.
That's what I thought. So I'm looking and say, wait, I remember this.
Yep. Yeah, the little RCA record player went to the guy across the aisle who was selling the records.
Well, that's a
Beautiful.
good fit.
Then someone else bought a couple of the little black receivers.
Beautiful. Did you move that to Bose subwoofer?
Yes, they did.
Nice. This was kind of neat. It's on way, this old phone.
Go
Oh, there we go. There's the
on me
I
on
know.
the phone.
the picture doesn't quite do it justice. It's a lot more
yes.
vivid to the eye than my camera.
Did you get the atomic clock?
I did. I
Okay.
did. It will. I did.
This photo, by the way, the Zenith Radio TV photo is the cover photo for the next issue of Raven.
Oh, cool. Very good.
I would have bought it if it said Stromberg Carlson, but I guess they didn't have enough neon to make that work.
Stay photo op with John. I guess you Len over there in the corner. There we go. There's sort of a pan out. There's a fair amount of people lurking about. Oh, it's Megalox.
Nothing like a GE. Wake you
Yeah.
up in the morning.
It was a Telecron.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's a Telecron because
I don't know either, but I just go,
because
why
I think
wouldn't it be?
Music alarm.
I think
It
GE
doesn't have
somebody else-
the little red dot thing on it. but-
right. Plus, almost
GE
everything-
made some of their own clocks, didn't
I
they?
think
'Cause they
so.
made clocks, right? Nashua,
Yeah.
right?
That's my thinking because I think Telecron GE might have had the wrong because Telecron had the nice script to the Telecron script.
Yep.
And this doesn't have it.
Emerson took a lot of Telecrons, and I think some Zeniths feature Telecrons.
Yes.
I got my nifty little Stuart Warner Telecron.
I have a little Philco, I think, has a Telecron in there too.
Static, $20.
You pay for the static, so it's some price plus $20 you want static.
That's kind of sharp looking.
Yeah, it's Motorola's. I thought it was pretty cool.
Case is in nice shape.
Yeah, I love it. The old portholes. Cool. Very cool. Oh, another RCA. Very common radio. Philco. Oh, there's the Speed Queen. That was a looker. I know it's not really related to our hobby, but still eye candy. In fact,
Got a power cord.
we have Speed Queen. I took a photo and said to my wife, see, because she really wanted a Speed Queen. And I said, we get Speed Queen. And I said, here you go. You can be inspired by an old advertisement. I actually love this. Actually, he's got the right out of, must be the 40s, maybe.
Hot Point, I saw one radio. It looked like a Stuart Warner. It was an AM/FM post-war.
Wow, that's got to be the
Labeled Hot
oldest
Point.
Thorns turntable I've ever seen.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Worth a shot. Oh, this was a Zenith.
Yep.
Zenith clock radio. Doesn't see
Plug your
Telecron.
coffee percolator into the back.
Yeah, you can.
Christmas light.
There we go. I thought it was pretty.
There it
nifty.
is.
See, and you and I were talking, Noah, boy, if the
Yeah.
atomic rings were neon, oh, that would be just, it would just blow you away. You'd have
Even
to
as
have-
it was, though, there was no price tag on it, and I was afraid to ask, but
I never asked either. I thought it was really cool, but you know, it's like, yeah. But boy, this would be nice if we're neon. Coronado. Nice little radio, nice radio. Yo,
a different color.
yeah, actually nice and clean one too. It's quite sharp.
Cute little Emerson next to it there with that little wood case, kind of that waterfall design. Those are popular.
Oh, this one here. Oh yeah,
Yep.
that is pretty, isn't it? See, this is a. Is this a
Howard?
Howard? Yeah,
I'm familiar with Howard.
I only know of one Howard. It's our Howard.
Howard made some communication sets in the 30s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nifty little radio. Attractive, certainly. Yep. Lafayette. That's another attractive radio. I like the dial face. Ah, this was the silent auction. I took photos. I'll skip it's the Sonic Frontiers power amplifier. Oh right. Yeah, we'll wrap. I'll pick up the pace a little bit more only because we're running a little late, but I'll please indulge you guys. We'll stop on the real good stuff. There's a beautiful Pioneer that
Look
was
at the shine.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Well, shiny and everything.
And yeah, and actually I've seen photos. It does actually look sharp lit up. It's hard not to want, even in modern days, that beautiful Philco. The handiwork of our own Craig Hardy and donated by Bruce, and Tom did the electronics. Beautiful. Oh yes, these were the speakers. They were Polk. That's it. I remember. Very nice. Happy winners there. So it's kind of fun.
Some extra coils for your.
Here we go. So crystal sets. That's what
Crystal sets.
So that was kind of neat because we just had our crystal set presentation. And I said, "Oh, look at all the different varieties here."
Fillmore.
These are fun. It's fun, also neat stuff. I tell you, every time I went back to a table, I find something else I missed the first time.
That's a funky looking thing, huh?
Yeah, huh? It's Venus, yeah. Ah, there was a gentleman, this new I think it was Dave Ryan, relatively new to the club, brought in all this unusual German gear. And so the Siemens set, you don't see Siemens of this era all that often. Usually it's the one that Ted has, with the doors hinged. He brought it. That's the one you see more commonly, but these early ones you don't see very often. But it is interesting, I believe, a US set because it's got the AM, it's got the FM. So this was obviously an import, an export. So it's an unusual set, more so, because most of the time when you see these, they're all, German, with the limited 100 megahertz on the bound on the FM. So
It has a round speaker instead of an oval.
yeah, around. It's got twin speaker, a little tweeter there. And I got some version of an EM34, EM35 tuning eye here. Neat radio, and I think he sold it for cheaply. I want to say that Kyle, that Roger's son, might have grabbed it. Somebody walked out with it. And this one here is, I first thought it was a Lova Opta, but no, you don't see Neckermans very often.
Wow.
It's one of those low, the small German manufacturers. But the cabinet, I walked up, and I thought, Lova
Yeah, look at that
Opta made
case,
cabinets.
huh?
Lova Opta made cabinets that look just like this from the early
And
50s.
it's 3D as well.
It is, and I can see depth. There's a question. It is a 3D cabinet. But quite.
Kind of glad I didn't see any of those. Look at that
Oh
power
gosh,
cord
I'm
too.
surprised you didn't. You would have just filled your truck with other stuff. It's this.
Look at that power cord. Check
Yeah,
out the power cord.
yeah. It's got the European.
That's ready to go. Yeah, ready to go
pin.
right into your outlet at home.
Well, that's easy. Adapters are easy. I
Not
thought.
if not if it's a 220-volt set.
Right.
Well, the thing is, most of these were adjustable.
Have a selector.
Yeah, they had selectors. I don't know if this one does, because there was one there that didn't have a selector. I was like, really? I guess it was just this one here is an RCA. It's a German chassis RCA rebadge. What a
Yep.
nifty little. I was playing with this, and just all the button, the tactile feel of turning the buttons. Oh, it's so satisfying. You just sit there doing like this. So like, oh, this is really fun because it feels so good to the finger. That's a nice radio and
Big
beautiful condition.
flywheels on the back.
Yeah, this was in really nice shape. If someone walked out with it, they got a nifty radio, and also not very common, because the more common RCA Internationals were from like the mid 50s. The one that was the Gretz knockoff, which was a nice.
Yeah, I
radio.
had a couple of those in like the sort of silver blonde kind of cabinet.
Yeah, the nifty radios, so they were actually nice. Oh, he has some early
Wow.
stuff too. Look at that. I mean, that's cool. Look at that middle,
busy.
magic eye. This is the floating dial face. I'm sure these are side lit, so I'm sure you get the nice
Yep.
floating look.
Yep. Look at all the places you could contact in the world there.
I know. It's just beautifully designed. And you only see early B&O. This is from 1939 at B&O.
Wow. I totally didn't see any of these.
You know who bought this? Adam. Adam broke down, and he got, because this came from Europe, they had these beautiful steamer trunk style lined trunks for it. They came with the trunk too.
Case.
I mean, the
Oh,
trunk is
big.
worth the price he paid.
Wow.
But you can see the magic eye here. Let me look at that. It just,
Those weren't in the Helvetica room, were they? Were they across the hall?
I think they're across the hall.
Yeah, that must be what happened. I spent too much time too close to my own stuff.
Yep, here's another early B&O. But this one is slightly more pedestrian than the other stuff. Not that that's not interesting. But yeah, he had some cool stuff. Oh yeah, he had an AEG, which is essentially the parent company for Telefunken during the day. So they
Yep.
shared a lot of technology. And I was
It
wondering,
starts with a 7 too.
yeah. And they said, because I was kind of curious. This looks like if I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is at least a 6 tuber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 tuber. This is a pretty well loaded system. Then it's like just upper line, but not top line. This is they had a Nordmend record player built in. You'll see the front.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Here's the Saba again, and it's an early Saba, early 50s. Again, not seen very often. It's like, wow, look at all these sets you never see. Oh, this was neat. Also this is one of those why am my brain freezing here? It's one of the Dieter Rams designed bronze. Is it a bronze?
Oh, okay.
And
makes sense.
Kyle bought it because these are pretty popular some people just love these. And he got it for a really fair deal because these are actually commands a pretty high price. So he worked out pretty well. This was an excessively priced, I admit. I hope I'm not insulting anybody. Zenith with this original box. I thought it was like $800. I said, oh, I don't think that's one too many zeros. Not that I don't appreciate that, but this was neat. Oh, this is Ross's. We spend a lot of time discussing this. We almost had Chris buying it. Chris, the one with all the tons of radios that he restores. He's a realtor. I can't think of what's his last name? Thompson, is that right? This was popular common Grundig, apparently all working.
I have that Grundig. It's a pretty good set.
Yeah, it is. Another Zenith. I'm just going to sort of wrap this up here. See if there's anything else. Conversations. A TV. Motorola. Oh yeah,
What do
this
you
is
mean?
what the
No
Cobra.
clickers? You had to get up?
And another.
Vintage. Yeah, there you go. This is the waterfall Bendix.
Right.
Sharp little sets.
Yeah, it is pretty, very pretty. GE, somewhat more dual speaker. No, a little more plainer cabinet, but neat. Clock radio, RCA Victor. Nice. This is a reel-to-reel. And that was that Silvertone opened up. I think it's Silvertone. Chrysler. I want to say, Chrysler. Well, German, I'd say Chrysler. But I've never seen this radio before in my life. Nothing
Very
about
unique looking case, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's John. You were mentioning. No, what?
Yep.
My iPhone has a bigger screen. But
Is that a Pilot?
Yeah,
I
it's a
can't remember
Pilot.
what it was.
It's a Pilot.
Pretty cool though.
And how many could there be left?
right. This was Nia Tesla.
I've seen that before. Yeah, that is cool.
It's sort of a teardrop cabinet. It's kind of neat, unusual cabinet. Charlie McCarthy.
Run on
Oh,
AC or
yeah, it looks a
DC?
little rough, but those come in bucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. There we go. Just sort of a pan out. What's going on? There's our hero. Try to. What can I do to get you into these things today?
That's right.
No credit, no problem.
I tried to go over to see Paul there with his British radios and say, in the spirit of unification, you need some nice Wharfdale English speakers to connect to these
There you go.
German radios, and they'd sound great together.
That's good. This is a gentleman. This is Michael, who's selling all the grill cloth. He also had the Silvertone built-in record player. I have his information in case anyone's ever looking for grill cloth. He had a lot of good stuff. Good morning, Mr. Phelps.
Exactly. Or Mr. Briggs, depending upon your age.
That's true. I remember both, but I liked Phelps. Briggs, who the hell is he? You are right. Yeah, another pan out. Helicrafters, you can't have a show without at least a bunch of those. Pan out of Larry's. Nice setup. This was actually lit up. It's hard to see from my photo. My video does a little bit better job. All the different, I just show all the different components in this neat old oscilloscope.
This is you figures.
This was fun.
Were there ever any anode ray oscilloscopes, or were they all cathode ray oscilloscopes?
Wherever you find a cathode that's not an anode too far behind.
I know. They just never got the billing.
Nice grill on that Philco. Those are always very warped and misshapen.
Yeah, nice little.
Pretty acceptable.
He's this nice young gentleman. I've never seen him before selling a bunch of these radios, and that's why it's nice to see someone new, because I don't remember seeing him before, unless I've just managed to be, not that observant. Variety of quite kind of neat. This handle reminds me of a refrigerator or an oven. Ah, yes, the mystery dial.
The mystery dial.
That was kind of neat. Controller. PE. 48. Oh, is that it? That's weird.
We had a lot of stuff there. That was good.
I thought I had more pictures. Why did it stop right there? Well, I guess we probably do to be wrapping up anyway, so we've overshot our runway quite a bit, but we're just yakking away here. I'm just surprised.
Some
I
nice
can't-
stuff.
I-
Good
I-
job
I-
with the photographs, Sean.
I know I have more. I don't think this is really intended to end this way, but you know what? Like I said, I think we're probably due anyway. So
But thank you for
Yeah.
the work, though. That was you put on a few, you got your 10,000 steps in going around, taking all those pictures.
yeah, you know what? It's fun. Plus, there was a great social event because I ended up talking to a bunch of people, and certainly, other people on this call I talked to. Certainly you know what we spent a lot of time yakking away.
I know, just next time, bring a bigger vehicle and more money. That's all.
That's the story for most shows.
But well, I want to thank everybody. It was fun. And of course, the last show will be at the last Zoom meeting will be 2 weeks from now, and
See you in a couple of weeks.
that'll be the open forum Christmas, meeting. We'll come up with a topic.
What do you
or
want
maybe-
Santa to bring you?
There
Yeah,
we go.
instead
Your
of
favorite
a
radio
Yule log,
friend.
we might be all watching a Magnavox burn up in a
That's right.
Well,
fireplace.
John, if you
somewhere.
want to do a demo in front of us, watch this, people. Boom!
We'll try to come up with a nifty theme and put something out. So
Right.
maybe we
Yeah,
can kind
yeah.
of focus around that.
Yeah, bring your
All
own
right,
beer.
gentlemen.
We'll have a little toast, and so we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yep, little eggnog, perfect.
Be well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a great
Thanks,
See you guys.
everybody.